Hi, everybody. We are very happy to welcome you to our first webinar to launch IPEM 2019. Today, we will start by reviewing quickly the concept of IPEM. Then we will review what happened during IPEM 2018. We will then go to what's novelty and what's in store for IPEM 2019. And then we will see what are the next steps, how you can participate, and what's the calendar to prepare your participation to IPEM. And you can send me all your questions to my email address so we can answer them at the end of the presentation.
Hi all, this is Antoine Colson. I'm the Managing Director of IPEM. First, to start this webinar, this kickoff webinar, let me introduce you IPEM for those of you who don't know it, and the quick reminder of the event and its concept. IPEM stands for International Private Equity Market. It's entering its 4th edition next January. It takes place in Cannes for 3 days to gather the whole private capital, private equity industry and value chain during 3 days, from LPs to GPs, advisors, and business services that are all involved in this growing industry. What is different with IPEM from other events is that we offer a dedicated exhibition area with hundreds of booths, stands, where participants can arrange their meetings, along with high-end conferences and numerous networking business events during these 3 days. Why do participants take part to IPEM? We figure it out with 4 key reasons to attend the event. Obviously, the first one is to raise funds, since IPEM connects GPs and prospective LPs from all types, sizes, and industries. IPEM is also a deal-making platform, since we gather deal flow makers, corporates, entrepreneurs, investment banks, and so on. IPEM, the third reason why people take part to IPEM is to celebrate their achievement and celebrate with the PE community and the media, since they can gather their teams, portfolio companies, and partners at IPEM during these 3 days. And the fourth key reason to attend IPEM is that it's really a learning event. It's a learning opportunity for you in an ever-evolving industry to keep in touch with the new trends and attend high-profile conferences, and also learn with your peers of the new practices and trends in the private equity world. Let me now, Claire will now tell you what happened in 2018 at IPEM in Cannes.
Okay, hi all. Looking at the figures and also the first feedback of our partners, the IPEM team is very pleased to announce a significant growth for its 3rd edition in terms of attendance, but also in terms of quality of attendees and professionals. The 2018 edition gathered 1,230 professionals from 22 countries, and that's compared to 1,000 participants in 2017. The number of exhibitors increased by 31%. What is interesting also is to tell you that 50% of them are GPs. And for those PE and VC firms, the increase is a plus 69% this year, so very significant. And for LPs, we welcomed 162 LPs at IPEM last January, which is a plus 23% increase. Now we're going to look a bit closer at those two categories, IPEM, LPs, and GPs. For LPs, first things to say is maybe that 66% of them are international investors. They are, for 37% of them, fund-of-fund, 31% are institutional investors, and 32% are private investors and wealth, among which family offices, corporate investor and such. The current allocation of our IPEM LPs is $400 billion in total. So that's 6% of the total asset under management. But it's a great number also to announce. And what is of interest in this graph you have in front of you is that, as you can see, the 84% of the tickets that IPEM LPs have invested during the past 10 years, over the period 2010 and 2017, are in small and mid-cap funds, so funds below $1 billion. And that's really clearly indicate that IPEM is a marketplace for small and mid-cap, for the small and mid-cap industry. Now, we also wanted to give you also an insight on IPEM LP's appetite for other sectors than traditional private equity. So here you can see the sector that we also cover at IPEM, and that we also, for which we also are already and going to develop more dedicated format. So venture, debt, infrastructure, secondaries, and co-investment. Now, regarding the GPs, you will see on this graph that what is of interest to us is the evolution of the amount raised by the GP that were present at IPEM over the last 10 years. We can see that 250 billions have been raised over the period, and that's for the 2017 itself 34 billions of euro. Another also insight on IPEM GP funds right over the period is the split between the type of fund they have raised. So still 30% of them are traditional buyout, but you can see the rest of the fund raised by IPEM GPs. And finally, last graph for the GP profiles at IPEM, and also to show the strengths of our market for small and mid-cap vehicles. 64% of the fund raised by IPEM GP over the last 10 years are mid-cap vehicles, so below 500 millions. So this size shows you the evolution of the fund size raised by IPEM GPs. That's in number of funds. And to conclude, you have some of our LPs and GPs partners at IPEM 2018. And now we're going to speak, Valentine is going to give you more
information, about the conferences in the program. IPEM is a marketplace, but we have a content part with about 46 different content formats, 34 conferences session and keynotes, and we also have workshop and 3 different summits. One dedicated to the LPs, one about the LP summit is based and organized with roundtables to enter discussions. And then you have a VC summit with showcases, and then we had a corporate summit. The conference program is addressing different topics, obviously, covering different geographies or then organized by strategy of investment and also covering the life cycle of accounts from fundraising to deal executions. And you can see a couple of speakers who spoke at last IPEM and the topics they addressed. This is now the different networking formats that we have at IPEM. We have the opening cocktail that was taking place on Tuesday evening. It was sponsored by Campbell Newtons. Then every day for the lunch break, we organize networking lunches. So to offer you another networking opportunity. And it was sponsored by France Invest on the first day and then by eFront this year. On the Wednesday night, we organized a business dinner that was sponsored at the Carlton Hotel, sponsored by Cassis and Cassib. This is a very premium and exclusive event. On the Thursday night, we had our grand cocktail party, just a more informal event. And of course, during IPEM, all clients can organize the private event, either on site during the event, or they could organize it outside the Palais if they want. And we can obviously help you organize any type of events. And we also had a small informal happy hours during IPEM at happy hour time. Then regarding media presence and coverage, this year we had 19 journalists. International, we have an international presence, mainly from UK, France, and Italy. And when you can get this press attention, you could access the full press coverage from our media presence. And as you can see, this is a couple of the media that were attending IPEM this year. Now I'll let Antoine take the rest.
So what's in store for IPEM 2019? We imagined a few innovations or improvements that I'm happy to share with you right now. So first, as you may have noticed, we've decided to open IPEM 2019 on a Tuesday, whereas the years before, the event was launched and opened on Wednesday. The main idea is to have a more efficient, productive business days at the events, since we noticed that a few attendants left on a Friday, and the idea also is to have more focus on these 3 days. On Tuesday, first, we decided to open the event at 1 p.m. So it would be more or less a half a day of show that will be closed at 6:30 by our now you're used to IPEM opening party. On Wednesday, we'll open the exhibition and the event at 9 a.m. But for the first time, we will have a late night opening, and the event will close at 8 p.m. And as the years before, Wednesday is regularly a big day for the organization of private events, both on-site, on the exhibition floor, and outside. And on Thursday, we'll open at 9 and close at 6, as usual, and close the event by our grand cocktail party at about 6:30. So that's more or less the canvas this year. 3 very productive days, both for your meetings, networking events, and a few key milestones with the opening party and closing cocktail party. Let me share with you now our targets and top priorities this year. We target 1,600 participants this year, which will be tremendous growth, but we think it's really feasible, since we noticed a real growing trend around IPEM. And the exhibiting zone is also growing, since we are now targeting 150 exhibitors, because many participants are now feeling that to host their meetings, they need their own stand. More qualitative targets, obviously, as every year, but this year even more, we want to attract more LPs, new LPs that you perhaps don't meet in other events, and also attract new GPs, more GPs, since we target 250 GPs and 250 LPs for 2019. We also want to grow our international attendance, which is already the case, but we now have a team member in London. If César is watching, hello César. We also know that we have a good reach and very good potential in Southern European countries, such as Spain, Italy. And also we are witnessing a growing interest from non-European countries, especially frontier markets in emerging countries. Also, another improvement we have in mind is around MYIPEM. Valentin will talk about that a little later, but we want to improve the meeting tool, that you have in hand. And last, IPEM is more than just a marketplace. It's also an event where we should showcase and tap new industry trends. The private equity, private capital industry is changing every day, and we want to have the edge and to share these new industry trends with you through mainly conferences and new innovative topics and formats. It's just a program overview, but you will have the big picture. As of Tuesday, the opening day, we will, for the conferences track, we will tackle global outlook and trends, both global in Europe. Also growing interest among the participants that we are now working on is the idea that private equity can have a direct impact, social impact, impact on the society. So we will have a track on private equity for change. And as you can see in the red box, on Tuesday, we will hold the LP Summit, which is a closed-door event for LPs attending the event. On Wednesday, we are now imagining conferences that would be more like fireside chats, fireside discussions between GPs and LPs about the issues they face and the specific questions that both GP and LPs have and share in their business. At the same time, we will hold a venture summit, a venture capital summit, where we will gather the whole venture community, venture firms, obviously, but also LPs interested in this asset class. On Wednesday in the afternoon, we intend to share the best practice of the industry. It will be something like the University of IPEM, where participants will share what practice they improved or are especially interesting for the community. At the same time, we will hold a private debt summit, which will be a private debt lunch and roundtable discussions, gathering the private debt funds, but also private debt LPs. And as I told you earlier, on Wednesday, we'll have a late night opening that will allow you to organize events on your stands. And at the same time, we are planning a media press event alongside with the associations that we partner with. And on Thursday, the last day of IPEM 2019, in the morning, the conferences and keynotes will highlight some outstanding deals. So gather private equity firms and deal stakeholders. At the same time, we will hold a corporate investor summit where we will gather corporate stakeholders that do have an interest in private equity, both as investors or in the deal flow. And in the afternoon, after the networking lunch, we will find out some new perspectives for private equity that we call new frontiers for private equity, both with interest in emerging markets, but also in disrupting technologies, or more or less what it's now changing and what are the new frontiers and the next steps for the industry. And at the same time, we will have, with the same format as the others, an infrastructure summit gathering infrastructure funds and LPs interested in this asset class. And we will then hold our, now you're used to it, closing cocktail party at 6 p.m. to share with you the success that IPEM 2019 will be.
Hello, it's Florence. I will now show you the new floor map. I'm sure many of you are expecting to see it. So we've extending the place for this year, for next year, because we got very great feedback from our exhibitor. They were very enthusiastic. So what you see in red in the floor map is already the options, because we kept the options for the past exhibitors, and we already have some visitors or prospects that already requested to get to exhibit for next year. I'm thinking about Macquarie or AXA Venture Partners or Azulis or Auckland's and many more. So we'll have different spaces. So we'll have the same as last year. You will find some lounges where people can do their meetings, and also we'll have some sponsorship opportunities on those spaces. We'll have 3 next year. We'll have also 2 conference rooms. We'll have something like 30 conferences. And last year we launched a venture village. We were very happy to welcome 9 VCs on the village, and we will keep this idea because the companies were very enthusiastic. So we'll aim to have more than 15 VCs next year. And finally, we'll still have our TV studio, and this year it will be with a sea view. So we will have nice pictures, and we will have a nice coffee area close to it. Finally, new in 2019, we are opening a floor upstairs, and it's a very nice floor with a great sea view, and we'll have 3 rooms available upstairs. One will be the speaker's room, and we will have also 1 room and 1 lunch room where we will do our dedicated summit that Antoine introduced a little earlier. So we will do summit with the topics, and this will open new sponsorship opportunities. So now Valentine will introduce you with MYIPEM and the new features that we are doing for next year.
Yes, MYIPEM is an online platform that you can find on the desktop, and then it's also an application that you can have on site on your mobile. So what we aim to do is to offer you, all the tools to get prepared to IPEM and to make it really a great experience. It's where you can register, and then you have your own account, and you have all the functionalities to get prepared. So we will make it in a even more user-friendly interface. You have an inbox, and we will enhance in this inbox so you can exchange messages before IPEM to schedule meetings. You have a real tool to schedule your meetings, so you can have a visibility on the participant you want to meet, and so you can schedule, find with him the right time to meet with him. You also have all the all these meetings, you can add them to your personal agenda. This will be a new feature also this year. And to schedule all those meetings, we will also implement new filters, so you can have access to better searches and to find all the targets you're looking for at IPEM. You also have, this is existing already for 2018, you have all the program and events, and you can bookmark them, and you will be also able to add them to your personal agenda. So when you arrive in Cannes, you are all set to spend a great 2-3 days, and with a lot of meetings. Now we'll let Trim talk about all the different offering packagings to participate to IPEM.
Hi, this is Rimosna, in charge of their visitor registration at IPEM. So with all this information you have been given, you may now wonder how to proceed to attend in our next edition. As you can see it, we do have several participation offers to respond to our clients' needs and expectations. For those of you who would like to participate as exhibitors, we offer 3 options that allocate each a dedicated and private space, enabling our participants to conduct their meetings and as well, enjoy visibility of their brand. If you choose to attend as a visitor, we do have a new special offer open to the first 40 participants to register before the end of July with a discount of 40%. After this offer, you will have 2 early birds rates open to all. So do not miss out those offers. We also provide sponsoring and advertising offers with several options that make you available to complete your package and optimize your participation by enhancing your visibility in our either media tools and on the exhibition ground. Some of our stands and sponsoring options are already spoken for, so I advise you to show your interest and contact us without delay. We also provide after-sales support by assisting our clients through their registration process, accommodation booking, and logistics for the exhibitors' part. If you are interested in knowing more, you can reach out to our sales team at any time. We will be happy to answer your questions and help you through the different participation offers and process. We are also flexible and open to construct the best customized offers to match your needs. You can either contact us by phone or email. Contact details will be available at the end of the slideshow, or meet up with us during our roadshows if you are based in Italy, Spain, UK, North America, or Asia. If you are based in Paris, we would be pleased to set up appointments with you in the coming weeks or months to discuss IPEM 2019 and also your company prospects in more details. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. This is now the Q&A time. We have a couple of questions, I think. So, what's the first question? Okay. What's the deadline for an option on the stand? How long does it stand?
So this year, I think we it won't be like last year where we kept some option a little longer. We have already a lot of requests. So for some spaces, the most requested spaces, we will keep the option for a month.
Thank you. How can we get access to the conferences and events in the LERINS area?
So the LERINS area is the new space we are opening on the first floor of the Riviera Hall, where IPEM is organized. To remind you, it's going to be a place with this where all the speakers are going to have access to prepare their sessions, and there's going to be also rooms dedicated to organize specific summits on the different thematics you have seen on this presentation. And for those, they will be by invitation and or open to sponsorship. So that will be the way of participating to those specific sessions at the LERINS.
Okay, I think we have another question. Is the cocktail party and different networking events already sponsored for next year?
We have actually a list of exclusive sponsorship open for next year. I will not give you the entire list now, but that could be goes from the lanyard sponsorship to Wi-Fi event, cocktail and event sponsorship, and some of them are already confirmed, or for some of them we already have options. So the best is to contact us now, if possible. I mean, in the coming weeks, to discuss it and see what would be the best visibility for you for next year and what audience you would like to reach.
Okay, we have another question about the Venture Village. Do we have how many stands do we plan to have in the Venture Village, or what's the size?
So we are aiming to have something like 15 to 20 VCs on the Venture Village.
Yeah, just to give you another information on the Venture Village, this specific location is also open to sponsorship, but the stands and corner are for VC firms only. I mean, available for VC firms only.
Okay. I have a question about the workshop, because there were a couple of workshops last year. Do we plan to have other workshops again this year?
Workshops, yes, we plan to have other workshops. They have been organized last year on the TV studio, and that's going to be also part of IPEM 2019, to have a session of a dedicated workshop, more focused on, let's say, professional and trainings, I would say. No more questions?
Yes, I have a question. Just the email is charging. Yes.
So we have a question about...
will there be more roundtables for entrepreneurs again next year, or more than this year?
So actually, last year we had a program for entrepreneurs where we did a program on the morning where it was a mentoring session with roundtables. So we are still thinking about this. We might do another format, but we will have something dedicated to entrepreneurs, of course.
Okay, we have another question. Do you share your list of journalists? Yes, we can share the list of journalists. Ahead of the event when they register, but this is for exhibitors only. And we do have a partner for press for media and yes, for press coverage. And we have a press club on site, and the team is available to help you prepare also your presence at IPEM, because you can they are available if you want to display a press release ahead of IPEM, so you can communicate about your brand at IPEM. I mean, it's a good time to share information with us and the community of private equity, as everybody is gathered.
We have one funny question. Are we all French? Yes, we are, but we speak not only English, but io parlo italiano.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
Español. Hablo español.
Arabic.
And many other languages.
Yes. We have another question. How many appointments can we expect?
That's a great question. This we can help, but you can definitely help yourself, and that's a good question, because what is also very important about IPEM is the way you prepare IPEM. And MYIPEM is here, and also the team is here to assist. But we can see that teams that were very well prepared could do something like 30 meetings. But when I mean 30 is that really with the time and prepared in advance.
And it's a good question also. IPEM is a trade show, but we really explain to our exhibitors that it's not, you are not going to IPEM only counting on the flow of people passing by your stand, but also what is important is to really prepare the show in advance. That's why we are opening the an online database, and you can prepare the meetings up to 2 months in advance. So that also is part of the tool IPEM offers.
Okay, another question. Can you help us if we want to organize something during IPEM? Can you help us organize it?
There is 2 ways of seeing this. We can do it for you, and so you can sponsor an IPEM, an event organized by IPEM. So we will do everything for you. Or we can also assist you, because we have a team. I'm sure you met them for the one we were attending. I'm sure you met either Lucie or Thibaut, and it's our event service, so they can definitely help you in building a very customized event.
Okay, I have no more questions, so I think we're done here. Thank you everyone for listening and watching this first webinar. We will be available to answer all the questions also afterwards. So I'm going to send to all of you the presentation if you want to have it with you, and it will be also available in replay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.